And all of that oddity of fracas, assuming you think back history, will let you know that she was given up from Hot 97 over that when he got his trump to pull us down certain young ladies that was taking pictures. They snapped that photo and messaged it back to Wendy Williams' camera. Say, yo Puff yo, you must allow me to film this the entire thing. We really want to record this playboy. He resembled so Jamie Foxx experienced an intense health-related crisis that landed him in the clinic. Currently, there's a delicious connection between Wendy Williams, and the web is ablaze with it. Wendy Williams, as of late, called Diddy out on his propensity for exaggerating like a pretzel. And it's an obvious fact that he has a background marked by doing only that as well as this stunner data is associated with Jamie Foxx's new hospitalization. Do you truly believe that it's very much like a drama? Besides, in actuality, you wouldn't be inappropriate to stress that Diddy could cause problems for this. The ramifications of Wendy's comments are fanning out like quickly around California. At the end of the day, settle down with some popcorn since this embarrassment has recently started. It has been said that a steamy photograph of not one yet two shirtless guys is coursing on the web. Could one of these studly folks perhaps be the scandalous tune individuals by and large around the web are scrambling to figure out it anyway? That is not all. Assuming that you've been perusing Wendy's hot contemplations, you realize that she just uncovered a few succulent insights concerning Diddy's reputed gay connections, and that evidently prompted her lashing out and losing her employment. Wendy, anyway, has more tea to spill, so clutch your caps. Jamie Foxx's new medical conditions, as she would like to think, could be connected with him uncovering insights concerning Diddy's unruly sex parties. At this moment, you're presumably pondering, is this simply one more unmerited gossip? You can definitely relax. However, Wendy never appears without proof of what she guarantees. This time, however, she has quality arrangement beforehand. Diddy's guardian, dishing the soil, yet stand by. There's more. Puma Right is another performer that has been releasing succulent insights regarding superstars like Diddy and Alicia Keys. Yet Wright has been unequivocally criticizing this sort of conduct in any event. When others are quiet, and it appears to be that arrangement is her ally too, it's an obvious fact that Diddy urged Wendy to uncover his gay exercises, which might make sense of why she started mishandling substances. Unfortunately, it seems Fox is going through exactly the same thing. In 2021, the notable host openly talked about her fights with liquor addiction. Well, for quite a while, and even today. And past, I've been residing in a level-headed house. Williams genuinely uncovered to her crowd, and you realize I've had a battle with cocaine in my past. I never went to a spot to seek the therapy. I don't have the foggiest idea how, aside from God, was perched on my shoulder. And I just halted. Williams was attempting to get better, as per a source near her, yet nobody was prepared to examine the inspiration driving her medication use. Wendy has been sufficiently courageous to make herself the essence of enslavement. The source says it's a sickness and an undeniable and consistent battle. It's been incredibly hard to put herself out there and be powerless, as this is a particularly confidential battle. Yet it's too significant a point to disregard. She is known for keeping it genuine, and wanted to save it genuine for her fans. Wendy Williams knew the day-to-day male story was breaking and needed to be straightforward with the watchers. She maintained that it should be her story to tell. How about we back up and start at the starting point? Wendy Williams, who was a radio personality for Hot 97 back in 1998, has made a few stunning charges about Diddy's sexuality. Yet when Terrible Kids Maker heard what Wendy was talking about, he purportedly capitalized on his leverage to get her terminated from the radio broadcast. Wendy and Diddy's contempt went on for a very long time after this. I can read your mind. Yet what does any of this have to do with Jamie Foxx's new well-being battles? Wendy guarantees that the outrage comes from disclosures made at one of Diddy's wild sex parties. A shrewd music big shot once probably dispatched a young lady band to school our dear Wendy, as per her story, A team named Complete showed up to thump her up before the radio broadcast. All Out was supposedly appended to the magnate's mark Terrible Kid Records. Sure enough, Diddy was the genius behind the entire thing. I wrapped my shift, gathered together my earphones to see everybody arranged on the window, peering down at the walkway. She reviewed when she got ground floor, she saw this young lady bunch, leaped out of a wanderer taxi to beat her senseless in her book. The Wendy Williams experience, Wendy uncovered that she had held on to disdain towards Diddy for almost 20 years since she accepted. He had endeavored to hurt her vocation. She was frank in her evaluation that he was liable for her experiencing on the planet. Yet she said she actually didn't despise him. Wendy had long trusted yet never expected that Diddy would show up on her show in 2017 and authoritatively end their contention. I realize I've pissed many individuals off, including you, she told Diddy as their meeting began, yet this is a round-trip second. Diddy went on Wendy's show and discussed his affections for his then sweetheart Cassie, with an end goal to fix things up and settle the quarrel. I'm absolutely enamored with her, he said. The unbelievable syndicated program moderator has had her reasonable part of well-being and private matters. In spite of her standing for having a harsh tone and trying judgment, she had a 10-year battle with cocaine compulsion toward the start of her profession. And she's likewise been managing Graves' ailment, hyperthyroidism, and other medical problems, as of late anyway. Diddy's contribution in her circumstance, as he has finished with Jamie Foxx, perhaps news to a considerable lot of her huge number of admirers, who has hardly any insight into Wendy Williams' notorious conjugal issues, from tricking claims against her ex to her own medical conditions. The television show Sovereign has seen her portion of misfortune. Wendy and Kevin Tracker were hitched for a considerable length of time before she petitioned for legal separation in 2019, subsequent to discovering that Kevin was the dad of a kid by one more lady in January of the next year. Their separation was formalized. Wendy is an impressive rival, yet not even she is safe to the infection. In the wake of having a few undesirable side effects in 2018, she had to drop 3 episodes of her show. Interestingly, she immediately got up on her feet and guaranteed her devotees that she was OK. It didn't end there, however, as Wendy fought Graves' illness and hyperthyroidism. She went home for the weeks, sometime thereafter leaving her admirers stressed. Wendy's PCP proposed she get some much-needed rest to rebalance her medication. And when she returned, she was over and above anyone's expectations. Much more succulent subtleties rose up out of a meeting Wendy gave in July 2018 to advance her Be Here public mission with the Tracker establishment and talk about her very long-term battle with cocaine habit. I was a working fan, she declared to Diversion. This evening, the appraisals I was getting implied that they couldn't fire me. My capacity to end was supernatural. Subsequent to losing her radio employment because of Diddy's impact, the anchor person supposedly started utilizing it. There was a ton of dramatization encompassing Wendy's takeoff from the amazing New York radio broadcast Warm 97 out of 1998. The host of the dubious television show had estranged a few of her partners in the very music industry. She had decided to look at Wendy, was even referred to by name in a melody. When Tupac Shakur inquired as to why you turn on me, not just Wendy and Foxx have called tune ho-hum. Either the proclamations Wendy and Foxx made about Diddy are valid, as they have been approved a few times by Quality Arrangement, a previous close associate of the mogul. As per bargain, he was in a Philadelphia club when he saw Awful Kid President Diddy advise R&B vocalist Music Soulchild to remove his turban, yet stand by theirs all the more later after Panther Right blamed bargain for being paid to keep calm. Arrangement commended her for standing up and excused her cases. Back regarding the matter of the squeezing matter in question, he proceeded with, in the meantime, Wright has truly blamed her previous manager for manipulative and out-of-line rehearses. The time has come to explore these cases completely in a way that would sound natural to him. Child, young lady, Pay attention to me. Ain't no one taken care of enormous quality. Ain't no one ran large Gene off. It's not happening, never ran. And never won't ever have from no one or no man. Darling, you're off base about that. So I've heard you say that 2 times. Someone sent that to me 2 times. So I'm telling you, child, young lady, I don't realize you by, and by do you see yet. I regard what you do, yet you are off base. When you tell, except if it's another protector, it ain't enormous quality. You may be talking about another person. You are not talking about huge quality arrangements. Guards against Wright and Wendy's cases failed and gave more fuel to their discharge. He said he became strict because of his time while working with Diddy, the ex-protector. Additionally raised Mary Ju Blige, since Panther had suggested she was involved. Panther had recently blamed Blige for concealing her sexuality from individuals for a really long time and provoked her to a melodic rivalry. All before the Tune occurrence, Panther continued in her charges, notwithstanding pushback, venturing to such an extreme as to give a dance challenge to the sovereign of hip jump soul on Instagram. Quality's new meeting effectively supports the cases made by Wendy Williams and Jamie Foxx, who have likewise stood in opposition to Diddy during an excursion for work in mid-2000. Quality affirms he went with Diddy to a colorful bookshop where Diddy supposedly bought a pack of sex toys for his kids, including various butt plugs. Quality further cases that Diddy planned to bring the toys to Ja Rule's home after the North Carolina occasion, notwithstanding Quality's earnest attempts to prevent him. Many individuals have taken to virtual entertainment to voice their wonder and frightfulness at these upsetting charges. Jean isn't the only one with fascinating tales to tell. Wendy has voiced her disappointment with the unavoidable homophobia in the hip jump local area. She was being serious when she said,